So this is my spreadsheet where I track like all my health, my performance, my cycling, all my data and my weight and my food and all that. And this is just personally just something that I love doing. It's fun for me. I enjoy, you know, the data and the metrics and just keeping a track of everything. And so as you see here in this week, last week, you know, that's 7 days in a row where, you know, my calories were just slightly under what I burned for each day, which was what I was trying to do. I was trying to be about maintenance or just below, just slightly below. Not like a big crazy deficit, but also, you know, no over as well. The most important thing was I didn't want to be over. I didn't want to eat more than I burned or more than I needed. And the special thing about this is that that's never ever happened before in my entire life, you know. We're talking, you know, what, 10, 15, 20 years? Like, ever since I was a wee boy and, you know, was making my own decisions with food, I've always just, you know, ate emotionally. I've always ate when I was stressed. I've always ate when I was lonely. I've always ate when I was tired. I've always ate when I was bored. I've always ate when I was hungover. I've always ate. It's always been a response. And, you know, I've been good with my health this year because it's been not consistent, but it's been, I don't know what the word is. I've lost a good bit of weight this year. I'm down to my lowest weight, my lowest body fat. You know, my health's the greatest I've ever been. I'm the fittest I've ever been. I'm the strongest I've ever been. You know, my cycling's the greatest I've ever been. That's really because I've been training hard. I've been training consistent, and I've also been eating well. So, you know, there's been some times in there where, you know, it's only been a couple of days a week where I wasn't eating properly, and, you know, but some of those days it was 6 days, it was 7, some of those days it was 5, you know, that was a couple of weeks where I was just eating loads of crap. And so basically, I've got to a point now where I've actually just managed to do, you know, 7 days in a row, which was what I've been working on. And I just want to talk a wee bit about the process and what I've learned, and, you know, just why I'm doing it in case there's any lessons in there for anybody else. And so what we're talking about here is we're talking about, for the first time in my life since I've been a conscious adult and, you know, making my own decisions, eating my own foods, you're talking like 10 years old, 11 years old, 12 years old, I've never ever in my life had an entire week where I've ate exactly how I wanted to eat, like in part of the plan. It's always been at least 1 or 2 days a week where I've had a big massive binge, you know, ate loads of food I didn't want. And the thing I'll say is that I'm not saying this video because I'm telling anybody to live their life the way I live it. I'm just sharing my life. I'm just documenting what I do and what I go through and the things that I do and the things I try and how I live my life. And people can take lessons for that if they want. But for me, I've just had this awareness for the last few years or for a long time that I just didn't want to do it anymore. Like, I didn't want to eat junk food anymore. I didn't want to binge. I didn't want to eat loads of food. I just wanted to eat normally, like to a plan. I didn't want to eat too many calories. I didn't want to eat foods that I didn't like that didn't help me. And just this is what works for me. But I've never been able to be consistent with it. Like I can do 5 days and then I have a big mad binge, and then I do 3 days and then I have a big binge, and then maybe I do 6 days and then I have a big mad binge. But I can never do that whole week of doing it. But I wanted to do it because the big thing for me, and this is the reason why it's important, is that, and again I stress this is just for me, it's not for anybody else, this is just my life, just how I do it, and what works for me is that I'm such an all or nothing extreme guy, and every time I do it, I regret it. Every single time I raid those cupboards and eat too much, I say, why did you do that? I'm lying on the couch, I feel bloated, I feel sluggish, I feel horrible, and I'm like, Josh, why did you do that? And I must have done it thousands of times over the years, and I go, I'm never doing that again. And then a few days later you do it again, and I go, I'm never doing that again. And then a few days later you do it again, and then you just keep doing it and doing it. And I thought, you know what, enough's enough. I'm not doing it anymore. I'm just not doing it because it's getting to the point now that I'm so passionate about my cycling. I'm so excited about my cycling. I love my cycling so much. But this thing and this problem I've had with food was really starting to hold me back because I need to get my weight to a certain level to race and to be in the best shape I can possibly be and to eat the right foods. And so the nutrition thing was starting to become a problem, and I thought, I'm just going to tackle this in the head. And where this started for me, it was in hospital in Texas at the start of this year, January the 1st. I woke up in a hospital bed in Texas, and I was thinking about the year. You know, I was out there, I was on my own, you know, I had a lot of visitor stuff, but you know, you're always sort of on your own as well. And I thought, what do I want to get out of 2020? Like, what is the one thing? Just pick one thing, Josh, and do it. Because the good thing for me about 2019 was that I just picked one thing and I thought, I'm going to be sober for an entire year. I'm going to hit those 3, 6, 5 days of sobriety, because ever since 2015, I wanted to stop drinking, I wanted to stop doing drugs, I wanted to move away from that life. It was just something that I wanted to do. I just knew I couldn't keep living my life that way anymore because it was going to end up killing me. And I thought I need to do something different, and I tried and I tried and I tried and I failed, and kept failing. And then October the 6th, 2018, it was another time that I got back in the drink, and I woke up hungover. It was a Sunday, and I was like, fuck this, man, I'm not doing it anymore. I just can't do it anymore. Like, I'm not ever doing this again. I said, I just made the commitment, I'm just doing 1 year, because I thought if I can do a year, I know I'll never do it again, because it'll just be so part of who I am, and it'll be such a habit, and I'll just not even think about it. And obviously how much healthier and how much fitter I'll be for an entire year of no drinking. And then I've done it. I've done 3 months, 6 months, we got to 9 months, and we got to the year. I was in Australia, cycled to Australia, you know, it was just incredible milestone achievement. And then that's now over 18 months ago, coming up for 2 years, and I just don't think about alcohol anymore. It's just not something I enjoy, it's not something that helps me, it's not something that serves me in any way. I'm just a guy who doesn't drink. Sobriety is my life, and I know that for the next 100 years, I will never drink ever again, ever. Or 75, 100, whatever. I reckon I'll live to 125 at least, so let's say 100. 75 at least. And so that was fine, I'd done that. But then with the food thing, the challenge with food was that the reason why it was so easy with alcohol is because you can just make a black and white decision. I'm not doing that anymore. But with food, it's a wee bit different, because we actually need to eat food. And so I wasn't able to just give it up. I had to find a way of doing it. And what has worked for me this year is that I just said, back in the 26th of March, I said, I'm no ever again in my life ever eating junk food ever again. I'm never having chocolate, I'm never having crisps, I'm never having sweets, I'm never having takeaways, I'm never having pizzas, I'm never having that sort of stuff, because it just doesn't serve me. And just the reason why for me is that every time I do it, I feel shit. Every single time I have those foods, I feel shit. And I tell myself I'm never doing it again. So I thought, do you know what, just commit to it. Same way you done with alcohol, let's do that with junk food. And so that's what I've done. So 26th of March was the last time I ever ate any of those foods, and that's been like over 2 months, and I feel incredible, I feel amazing. One of the best decisions I've ever made in my life, similar to alcohol. But one of the things that I was doing was becoming a problem, is that I was still, because I was telling myself I was eating healthy, I was still eating too much foods. For example, I could do 5 or 6 days a week, like my calories on point, just at maintenance, what I needed. You know, if I was burning 5,000 calories that day on the bike, I would eat 5,000 calories because I needed that. But, you know, 1 or 2 days a week, or sometimes 3 or 4, depending if it was a good or bad week, I would, you know, so I can come through to the kitchen, I would eat 7,000 calories. Like, that's literally what I would do. I would have like loads of almonds, loads of cashews, I would have loads of peanut butter, maybe make like a massive bowl of porridge, and maybe just, yeah, I was just eating loads of healthy foods, but so much, so I was still binging. And I was actually finding that was actually a good place to be, because when you're going and having a big binge, if you're going to eat anything, at least eat healthy foods, because you didn't actually feel the way you feel after you eat sugar. But I did notice that I did get to the point where I was eating so much that I was actually sluggish and tired. I was waking up the following day, and I thought, right, I want to end that once and for all. And so I said, from now on, I'm just going to eat at maintenance. So if I burn 2,000 calories in a day, I'm going to eat 2,000. If I burn 5,000 a day, I'm going to eat 5,000. And so that's what I want to do going forward. And that's my, because that to me, it's just like normal. It's like, you only need to eat what you burn. Like, if you only burn 2,500 calories a day, you don't need to eat 3,000. There's no reason for that. And so for me, as an athlete and as a human, I'm an all or nothing guy. I know it works for me, and this works for me. I don't recommend it to anybody else, but it's just something that works for me. I enjoy tracking my calories, I enjoy my spreadsheet, I enjoy looking at like all the spread. I enjoy it, I just love it. I love being in control of my diet and my food and my nutrition, what I'm eating. And the results are incredible. I'm, you know, the healthiest I've ever been, you know, like physically, you know, mentally, psychologically, I feel great as well. I feel so fired up, I feel so committed and determined. And just because I'm eating such good food and eating the right quantity, I just feel amazing. And so now I've done that for 7 days in a row. I just want to do it now for 2 weeks and then do another week and get to the point where I've done it for an entire month, and it just becomes part of who I am. And the same way I've done it with alcohol, I don't even need to try anymore. Like, I don't ever think, like, I could walk into a pub tomorrow if it was open, and there's not one part of my brain thinks, should I have a drink, you know? And that's what I'm going to do with food. Where next time I walk in, and if I walk into this kitchen in 2 months' time, the thought of even eating more calories than I burned that day just won't even enter my mind. So that's what I'm trying to do. And you know, it's something I've struggled with my whole life, but I feel like I'm finally on top of it now, and I've got in control with it. And I've got a really big reason why, because, you know, my cycling's so important and the most important thing in my life right now, and it helps that. So this video probably sounds mental, but it's just, it's a vlog, it's an honest vlog, and that's where I'm at. And you know, I'm making great progress with my habits, and I'm happy and I'm loving it. So that's it.